Hey guys, so it's been a while since I put a video, but anyway, I want to show you what I'm working at right now. My coolant tank, uh, oil skimmer, or whatever we call that thing. So this is how dirty that thing looks. It's disgusting, but this is what I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna try to explain what the mistake is on Haas uh, and why, if you put an oil skimmer on the very back end, which is this hole right here, it doesn't work really good, because these are pretty much oil traps. I mean, they probably did it like they wanted to break the wave, I believe, maybe. Or maybe the oil skimmer actually goes here on the very front hole, but I don't think that's gonna be nice, because there's a lot of movement on the front of it because of that coolant falling right off the machine. There's a lot of movement over there, but anyway, so it's got two walls over there. I will say, like I'm saying, they did it just probably to create strength on the tank, or just like a wave breaker or whatever, so to slow down the velocity of the coolant and doesn't create a lot of turbulence in there. But anyway, it also works as a oil trap. You see how much oil is on this one, a lot less oil on this one, and a lot less oil on the last one, where that's where the pump goes. So we got to get rid of that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a grinder, and right on the middle of this hole, and I hope you understand this, right on the middle of this hole, which is the last hole on, the pump is over there, and I'm gonna put it over there for you anyway. So the pump goes on that side, and that hole is right beside the pump. So right on the center of that hole, I'm gonna get a grinder, and I'm gonna cut this wall down and put a groove on it, all the way to the bottom, pretty much. Maybe 2 or 3 grooves. Those grooves, they're gonna be lined up with this oil trap that I built here. Pretty much this oil trap is gonna be, I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, well, and that groove is gonna be lined up with this oil trap. So, and on this hole trap, I'm gonna do a little bitty hole on the bottom of it. On the bottom, not on the top, on the bottom of it. So the oil, like I said, I'm gonna do a cut here on this one, and I'm also gonna do the same cut on this wall right here. Not from the very top, a little bit lower, so we don't lose strength on it, but a big old cut all the way to the bottom. So that oil is gonna start running through that gap, and through that other gap into this oil trap. Why it's gonna try to do that? Because the little hole that I'm gonna put on the bottom of this oil trap is gonna create flow. The coolant pump is gonna try to suck coolant, and that flow that is gonna be creating on the top is gonna try to run to that gap, and the hole, the bigger the hole, the bigger the flow that I'm gonna be creating. But inside that oil trap that I put over there, I'm gonna put this little pump. So this little pump is gonna be sinking in there. So there's gonna be the moment or the point where there's gonna be a lot of oil over there. All this oil is gonna be there to the point that it's gonna try to go down. So the level is gonna go start building up of oil. The coolant is gonna go down through that little hole or whatever, and then that pump is gonna start picking it up, and it's gonna dump it inside this tank that I built. This another oil trap. It's gonna dump it in here. The oil is gonna stay on this side. The coolant is gonna go through the bottom. It's still wet, but I'm gonna put it over there for you anyway. The coolant is gonna go through the bottom and create some level here, and it's gonna go back into the tank on this hole right here. And I'm gonna put it together for you now. So I don't care if it's wet. You know, me and paint doesn't work anyway. So the phone right here. What happened? Put the phone right there. So I'm gonna put the tank cover on it with the oil trap on there already. Well, and then the tank on the oil trap, which is this one. It's gonna be sitting somewhere over there. So theoretically, after the oil went all the way through the cuts, the gaps that I'm gonna do on the wave breakers or whatever, them walls in there, it's gonna end up on that oil trap, this little box right here, and then inside there's gonna be our pump, and our pump is gonna start pumping whatever is on that tank over here. And when it pumps over here, it's gonna pump coolant and oil. When the coolant start raising up with the oil is gonna start staying on the top, and coolant through the bottom is gonna come back into the coolant tank already clean, because the oil is gonna stay on this side. So it's pretty much a two setup oil trap or whatever, or one or whatever, and that's gonna be sitting inside the machine. The telltale on this, when do we know that we have a lot of oil here, is when there's so much oil on this side that it's already going through the bottom and coming out of this way. So if we ever see, which we will, after maybe a gallon of oil or more on this side, that's 4 by 5 inches. So after, let's say, a gallon of oil being in here, it's gonna start going through the bottom, and when we see oil on this side, that means this is full. And I'm just gonna put a drainage here on this side, you know, put a MP hole here and a drainage, so I can drain that oil if we ever get that, you know, that high. So yes, that's pretty much the setup, guys, for my oil skimmer, and we'll see how it works. But you see how disgusting it is, and I don't know, I ran the machine for 6, 8, 10 hours. And that's how much oil we got in there, and how disgusting it is. So that's the setup, and that's how I believe it's gonna work. So getting the trick here is gonna be how much big the hole that is gonna be on the bottom of that little box has to be before it will allow some flow in it. So for now, I'm just gonna do a little bitty one, because I know through the gap, the pump running is gonna try to suck some, you know, it's gonna create some flow into that trap over there through them gaps, because it's the only way the oil is gonna be able to get on this side, or the coolant is gonna be able to get on this side through those gaps on the top side floating. So it definitely gonna get over there for sure, and we're gonna pump it into that oil trap, and then the coolant is going to go back into our tank, and the oil is going to stay over there, hopefully. All right, guys, so that's the update, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope you like the build and how everything's coming out. The machine over there, nothing I have to work on, she's just working fine, beautiful, can't complain on it. but this is a big problem. It's dirty, it's disgusting. So I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.